Hello, I'm Gala, and I'm truly, truly glad you're here. This session, the NeuroButterfly Diagnostics class, is an entry point into the world of Neurographica. And if you're new to the method, I recommend first watching two short videos before you begin. One on how to draw a neuroline and what is a neuroline, and another one on the practice of rounding and why we do that. You'll find both links along with the description of the stationery you'll need for this particular class right below this video in the description box. When you're ready, come back here and we will begin. So what is a NeuroButterfly program? And actually, it's one of my favorite programs because I've manifested and realized quite a few ideas and desires and big goals with this one. It's a process built around key inner elements. Think of them as part of us that shape how we dream, decide, and of course, how we take action. Throughout this program, we explore how these inner parts or inner elements interact with one another and what needs to shift for your goal to become real. Because this entire program or NeuroButterfly is an idea that for any dream to come true, your soul, which is the first element, must want it. Your mind must understand it. Your body must be ready to act. And the observer in you must notice the signs along the way. And during this 6-class program, you will be able to align all these parts so that you can move towards your desire with clarity and ease. You'll be able to uncover what's been holding you back, and we will bring your inner system into harmony so that every element, soul, mind, body, and the observer say yes. And you get to experience your desire manifestation or realization, your desire in your life. And in today's class, the diagnostic session, you will see which element is supporting your path right now and which one might need a little bit of attention. Maybe it's a blind spot, or maybe it's just a missing key to momentum. So go get some water if you haven't prepared it yet. And I hope you also have all the stationery ready. You may pause here to get it all. If you already have it, then let's begin. And yeah, so what do we begin with? As always, we begin with a topic. And we write down our desire with one word. Think about anything that you would like to create, to achieve. It can be a goal, it can be something bigger, it can be something smaller. So it's not something, pick anything that you want. For example, if you're working on abundance, you can pick the word abundance. If you would like to change your careers, it can be with the word career. If you're working on relationship, feel free to write down love or any other word that resonates with you, that gives you this, yeah, this is exactly what I'm working on. Or for example, if you're working on health, and you can actually work on health. Just write down health or heart, wholeness, anything that gives you again this boost, this momentum that yes, this is what I want to write down. So we write just one word. In my case, I'm going to explore YouTube. I'm working on YouTube. Um, this is the first time I'm working on this topic, and I just relaunched this channel. So let's see what is hiding and why I'm actually driven to explore this topic. So you wrote down your topic, and already now you can check in with yourself. When you close your eyes, what do you see? What image comes up? For me, I see an image of my channel and a description of the channel. what do I feel? What emotions do I have? And I feel actually calm, but there is this curiosity in me as well. How is my body reacting? I'm checking my sensations. My body, I feel some tension in my chest. So I'm like, interesting. And all this that I'm noticing, the image that I have, and the image can be any metaphor or it can be any even memory from the past, anything. The emotions, and I'm noticing that again, I am breathing deeper right now. What is that telling me about my topic? And it tells me that even though I'm pretty calm about this topic, and though I'm curious to work on the channel, I still feel some tension. And for now, I'm not sure what this tension is about, but this is something that I believe this class will help me to uncover. And to launch our subconscious mind and to see what's already our subconscious mind is ready to tell us, we are going to go through a beautiful and very simple exercise, which is 20 words for 2 minutes. So the idea is that I will set a timer for 2 minutes and we are going to write down on a paper. It can be A4 paper like I'm using, or you can use your notebook that you have, or separate, just, a sheet of paper. We're going to write down all the words that come up. We're not filtering anything. We're just allowing the flow to come through us. Think of your hand as a messenger, and the messenger that helps to deliver what is our subconscious mind telling us. Okay, so ready? Let's begin. And we're done. 2 minutes. Now you can count how many words you have. Have 25 words. And what we can already do, let's take a few highlighters, and already now you can just add a little bit of color into some of the words that may resonate with you, or maybe some words that give you tension. For example, I have this word stop. I have the word torture. I'm like, oh, wow, interesting. And interesting magnify content that I'm using the same color to highlight them: block, stop, torture, content. So these are the words that, even though magnifying content are pretty neutral, but together it feels like the energy is not so pleasant for me. And right away I'm checking in what is that I'm feeling, and I feel that I am there is some tension in my breathing, and as if there is some knot below my neck. Like, interesting. And then I have this word humor, smile, love, creativity, and what brighter colors, creation. Oh yeah, I love it. I love this color. Creation, care, start, visibility. And I have goosebumps on my back. That's also interesting. So I feel that some energy is already moving, and I'm closing my eyes, and I'm checking in with my vision, with the image. So what is that I have? And I see that my image is no longer the channel that I see. It's actually to-do list of all the things that I need to tick. And I'm like, oh my God, there are so many things to do that which part, which step should I begin with? And yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, so again, we're not, the task here is not to find all the answers right away. The task here is, as always in Neurographica, is to pay attention and keep asking questions, because once the question is asked, whether your conscious mind is aware of it or not, the answer is already there. And you may receive this aha moment during the drawing, during the day, or maybe the answer will be already so integrated in you that you will actually forget even the question. So NeuroButterfly. Um, as always, I will be showing you what I'm going to do, and with some explanation, and then you can do it on your own. Please feel free to pause anytime, because especially when we will go further into the algorithm, to do it in your own pace, not to rush anything, and to really give yourself some time to savor, even I would say, every moment. So we have a desire, and my desire is YouTube. And I'm looking at the list of words that I have, and I'm connecting to my paper. And I'm where is my desire? Where is my desire? How big is my desire? And I'm looking at paper, and my hand shows that this is where my desire is. So I'm drawing a circle of the desire. Now, please take some time, find your circle where it is. And again, once you already drawn it, you can check in with yourself and pay attention. Okay, how big is it? What do I actually feel now when I see my desire on paper? It's no longer in me, it's on paper, so it can be more tangible in a way. And maybe already now you will have some clues. And seeing my desire, I'm like, okay, here you are. I did that. You're no longer in me, making you visible, and I'm finally giving you attention, something that I've been thinking for, goodness, I don't know how many months, probably even years, and here I am. Baby steps, but still very proud of myself. So this is our desire, but we know that once we have our desire, our soul must truly want it. And this is when we understand whether actually this desire is ours. This is something that we want, or probably this is something that is imposed by the society, by our internal circle, in a close circle like friends or family, or maybe it is something that we wanted before, but not something that we truly desire here. So I'm again connecting to the paper, and I'm like, okay, soul, where are you? Where are you? And I see that my soul is somewhere here. And my liner refuses to draw. I'm like, okay, so what does it tell me? How am I feeling now that my liner doesn't want to draw? Does it piss me off? Does it anger me or anything? And already here I can say that, well, even though they overlap, they touch one another. I can see that the desire itself is greater than the feeling that I want it. What does it tell me? Well, no idea at this moment, but the good thing is that my soul is not detached from my desire. Okay, and again, your desire, your soul can be in completely different parts of the paper, and they may not even be connected to one another. Then just pay attention and ask yourself, what does it tell you? There is no right or wrong. I mean, there's no wrong, everything is right. And because, again, this is the diagnostics class, and this is where we see how everything is now. And in further classes, we are going to explore each element separately, and this is when you will be able to see what can you do, what can you shift in each element to make sure that they all are integrated and aligned. So the soul must want it, but my mind should actually or must understand it. So, okay, I want YouTube. My soul wants it. And now my analytical mind or my mind should should process all the information that it has, all the information it needs to actually make it happen. So I'm like, okay, where are you, my mind? Where are you, my mind? And I see that my mind is somewhere here. Okay, that is interesting because my mind and my soul are completely disconnected. I mean, they connect through desire. It's like, okay, I see that you want it, but I will connect with you through desire. So you can see that the communication is not direct, which also affects the result. Okay, interesting. And again, I noticed that my mind is even smaller than my soul, and of course, smaller than the desire. The good thing is that they're working all together, even though they're not really connected with one another. So once our mind analyzed everything, our body must actually be ready to act or do something about it. Because again, a new realization is not about thinking or wanting, it's about doing. So what does my body tell me? Oh, and already now I notice even more tension in my chest. And I notice that I'm becoming quite sarcastic. And my body is here. That's my body. So what do I see? I see that, well, good thing that desire is slightly touches, desire slightly touches my body. My mind and my body are also slightly interconnected. So it's not that, completely disorganized, but still, I'm like, wow, but the body and the soul are working together, so that's good. That is strong foundation. But yeah, this is actually something truly interesting. Now that we identified where our body is, we realize that once our soul says like, yeah, I truly want it, it's like, you have the desire to buy I don't know, to buy yourself some shoes, but your soul is like, you know what, I don't want shoes, I actually want to go on vacation or I want a ring or something like that. So you have to not compromise, but you have to find the common ground, because this desire of going on vacation can be so much stronger than the desire to buy shoes, even though you might need your shoes. But again, that's coming from your mind that you need it. But what is that I want? And that's the difference between mind and your soul. And when our body is acting or not acting, because I can see that my body and my soul are connected. So when my soul says I want it, my body is more willing to do something rather than when my mind says I need it. My body like, well, let's let's see what I want first, and then if I have energy, then I'll go back to you. At least this is how my thinking process is going right now. And there is this observer in us, because it's one thing to understand everything, that you need this, you need that, but it's a completely different thing to see that you are not alone here, that there is guidance, that you receive signs, you receive opportunities to make it happen. And do you actually notice these signs? Or do you have to, or are you used to do everything on your own? Like, I don't, maybe you don't believe in science or anything, and you're like, I'm doing it my own. But when you just slightly open up to the idea that there is something greater, there is a greater force, you can also see how the realization of your desire, of your goal shifts. So let's find the observer. Where is my observer? See that my observer somewhere here, and well, it's also interesting because my observer is actually quite big. So what do I see? And right now you can again pause, and already here you will see, you will find some beautiful understanding or some insights. So what do I see? I see that 4 elements: desire, observer, soul, and body, they are united, they're together. My mind is like, okay, I see, but I am not processing what I observe, or maybe I don't believe what I observe. And my body is not really helping me with that, because even if I see, for example, I don't know, a feather, and I am looking for, waiting for the impulse in my body, like, oh, yeah, this is it, then I'll be able to process it, and then I'll be able to act on it. And again, what are you feeling now? I am having goosebumps on my shoulder blades right now. I'm breathing calmly right now, no more tension, as if there is this clarity in that my mind is is the element that needs a little bit of care, and they need to be, in a way, befriended, because I feel that as soon as my body starts seeing the observer, everything can shift, because yeah, that's how I feel. Anyway, and the image, how does my image change? And I can see that I still have this list of things to do, but now it's like someone highlighted that this is the priority, you do this, and you will receive exactly what you need, like the result. So you don't have to look at all the list of things that needs to be done. Just focus on this one, focus on this one. And yeah, it's beautiful. It's like really someone is guiding me and telling me, do this and see how everything else unfolds. So what do we do now? Our next step is that we are connecting them all with a neuroline. Again, my liner is refusing to draw. So I'm adding a neuroline around the circle, and right away I am connecting intersections and rounding intersections between elements, to make sure that this connection that is already here becomes even stronger, and that I can actually feel it in my body, because with the neuroline we are able to feel what is that we're drawing. And we also remember that a neuroline is a thought, and maybe when you start drawing neurolines and rounding intersections, you will already have some ideas, or maybe some insight, or some memories will be coming up. So it's important to always check in with yourself. What is it that you're feeling? What sensations do you have? And we always go back to our topic. So, okay, I feel all this. I understand my emotions, but what does it tell me about my topic? And yes, you may not have the answer right away, at least not with your something that you will understand with your conscious mind. But the answer is already there. No wonder they say, ask and you shall receive. Ask a question and right away the answer is there. You may notice that when you add a neural line in some of the elements, the sensations will be stronger. When you add neural line and round intersections in a different element, sensations can be maybe even non-existent. But this is how we train our bodies and we train ourselves to actually observe this change, because at first it's super subtle when we're just learning to do it. But with practice, there is this beautiful dialogue happening, no longer a monologue, but a dialogue with your subconscious mind. So at first we are working on rounding all the intersections that we have with our 5 circles. Take your time to do so. Observe your resistance, because this is something that can actually bring up quite a lot of feelings, uncomfortable ones, and maybe even strong ones. But keep rounding, because with every rounding, you eliminate more and more tension, because every intersection is some conflict, some tension, and we eliminate it with the help of rounding. And one of the questions that I like to ask myself once in a while when I'm drawing, what is the first word that comes up when you think about my topic? Now the word is steady. And it's like the message is, at least how I interpret it, is that no need to rush anything. Just follow the plan that I have. Steady over rushed. Interesting. So what I'm noticing now is that I have slight pain in my wrist. Okay. So I'm just giving my wrist a little bit of care. And continue. adding new lines and rounding. And what I'm also interesting, actually, what I'm noticing that I united all of them, all of the elements, and what is the which element is the final one that is still there, still not work, almost not worked on, which is, of course, the mind. Like, okay, so definitely, there's something about the mind that is not holding me back, but this is my blind spot. This is the element where I believe that if I uncover something, and I'm very curious to work on a separate class where we dive into the mind to see what is actually hiding there, which voice is holding me back, which voice in my head. Okay, so I finished with that. If you are still rounding and adding your lines, you can pause here and come back to this video once you finish that. And if you already finished that and you're keeping up with my pace, then let's continue. Let's continue together. So what we did here, we already see where our elements are. We united them in one system, so they're together. And again, you can have a drawing where some of the elements, or maybe all of them, are completely not touching one another. Then what you do is that you round them, but you're not connecting them at the moment. But now our next step is actually connecting them with the neuroline. And we're doing it one line at a time, and this is important. We're not rushing anywhere. We're drawing one line around all intersections, and then we add a new line. So I'm showing you how I do it, and you can observe and then do on your own. First line is something that I like to do, just seeing how the line goes without directing its movement. And what I mean by directing is something that I will explore, I will share with you in a bit. So I'm adding a line. And again, we remember that a neuroline is a line that goes there where we don't expect it to go. And it changes its direction every step of the movement. So what I see that my line, again, connects all elements but the mind. I'm like, interesting, interesting. So what I'm doing is I am right away rounding intersections that this neuroline created, that I created with the neuroline, because we remember that every intersection is some tension and conflict, and I don't want more tension and more conflict in my topic. So I'm rounding and rounding and observing how I'm feeling. What is that I'm sensing? And how my image is doing. Well, I'm super pensive right now and concentrated. And it's interesting because my mind is not the part that is technically active right now, at least not on the drawing, but I'm super concentrated. Like my mind is so, okay, guys, let me let me see what you do, what you can do without me. How far you can actually get without me being on board. And well, yeah, this mind here is being very sarcastic because it knows that mind is the key element. So what I'm doing now is that, okay, mind, I see that you are not together here, but let's see what's going to happen or what thoughts are going to arise when I actually add a neural line through you. So this is what I'm doing. I'm adding a neural line through my mind. And what I'm seeing is that my mind is interacting with all elements but my body. Like, okay, body, even though my mind, the element of the mind is not connected with the observer, they're not connected, but still my mind goes there with the line. And I feel this rush of energy right now in my back. So there is some movement. But it's actually interesting. My body and my mind. And an interesting thought. What is, it's not that my body, or not my mind that is sabotaging, but what is actually that it's my mind? No, not my mind that is sabotaging, but what is that it's my body covering up its traces. Interesting. So I'm rounding all intersections. And now that I have this idea, I'm like, okay, so what if I move through my body now? And I see that actually my body goes to my mind. So they are communicating. Oh, and I even have more energy now in my back. Oh, it's like a huge wave of goosebumps, not even goosebumps, but wow. And it's interesting because right away I have this urge to enlarge my mind. So it's like my mind says that, okay, the element of my mind says, okay, I notice that you notice that I'm here, so I'm willing to do something about it too. So what I see now is that once enlarged, my mind is actually interacting with all elements. And what's important to understand now is that there is no need to enlarge any elements or to do anything with the elements that you're already having. Diagnostics is here to show you what is happening right now inside of you. If we look at you through several elements. So you may have this urge to enlarge some of the elements, one element, maybe all elements, maybe none of the elements, which is okay. There is no need for it. It's just something that you cannot not do in a way. This is when it's genuine, not your analytical mind telling you like, okay, let's enlarge you and see what happens. Because Draw Neurographica is about being honest with yourself and learning to observe the impulse, and it's about also your gut feeling. Because if you choose to enroll into the full program, we will be exploring each element separately in depth, and you will see what is there. And then during the integration class, you will actually be able to notice the change and to compare your first drawing, which is diagnostics, because diagnostics is about seeing what is and not fixing it. It's not about fixing it or changing any of it. So I'm adding lines, NeuroLines, and rounding new circle of my mind, because since it's changed, I still have to round it. Okay, so I'm going to add a few more lines and see how it goes. And now I see a different image, a different picture. I see some celebration, but I'm not sure whether I am joining someone's party or whether it is something that is organized by me. But there is this joy in me. And I hear some music even, my body is like, yeah, let's dance. Well, I can say it's much better than the tension that I felt early in the class. Every line that we add, we round all intersections. Because again, this is something I repeat quite often, for us to remember that every intersection is a conflict, it's a tension, and with rounding, we eliminated it. And a few more lines. Take your time to add as many lines as you feel like. As many lines. What is important to also remember that the quality of your drawing depends on the quantity of your lines. And another thing that I notice is that my soul wants to be a little bigger as well. So I'm moving with this impulse. Again, it's not something that I need to do. It's something that I cannot not do. And I'm adding NeuroLines, roundings, since I have new intersections here. And I'm observing how my body is feeling. What am I sensing since the entire composition changed? So I see now that, yeah, my mind and my soul, they're actually touching now. Two elements that were detached from one another. So something shifted, even if I don't know what exactly, but my subconscious mind shows me that something did change. a few more lines, and then we'll proceed and work on other steps. But again, please don't rush it, and take as much time as you need to add as many lines as you feel like, to have this feeling, this is enough. But this feeling of this is enough should actually be not your resistance telling you, because sometimes like, oh my God, I need to add so many lines, like, oh, I don't want to do it, so enough. It's already enough. But actually, again, your internal feeling, this sensation that, yes, I know that I did my best now. Like I truly, truly can say now that it is enough. Well, I can say it right now. So I'm adding a few more lines. Rounding all intersections. And again, observe your sensations, your feelings, and the images that you have. Mhm. See, I can't lie to myself when I say, have I done enough? Or I realize that, nope. And I can't stop now because there are still more lines that I can draw, and I don't want to rush it because this is an important topic for me. And I know that this rushing can be a form of my own resistance. Oh yeah, now one more line, and it feels like it's good now. Yeah, now I have this feeling of completion in a way. Yeah, now it feels good. Or does it feel good? One more line. One more line. Because with every line, we add more energy to our topic. And we're able to work through even more, because again, every thought is an idea. Every line is a thought, is an idea. And I'm able to integrate it. I'm able to work through the tension related to this thought, to the idea, and I can say that it's far better to release this tension on the drawing than in day-to-day life. So this is what we've done now. And our next step is we're going to see how they're actually interacting more visibly right now, because we're going to add color. And pick the first color that speaks to you, and which element do you feel like coloring the first? I'm taking this bright yellow, and I am coloring the soul. So I'm like, okay, interesting. So my soul is the element that wants energy at the very beginning, because we remember and we know that color is energy. And so this is the element that, and it's interesting, like this is the element I can always turn to when I need to boost my topic. Interesting. And again, yellow, what is yellow for me? For me, yellow is joy. And yeah, I know that whenever I feel joyful about the topic, then the inspiration comes, because this is also, actually, yeah, this is not only joy, this is more of an inspiration than joy. Interesting. So what is next? I want mind. What color are you? My mind is blue. This is the color that I feel like. So I'm coloring it. And once again, I'm checking in with myself. Now that we're adding color, how am I feeling? Because, it's one thing to say, I want change and I'm ready for change. But it's a completely different thing to use the energy for change when you have it. Because again, even if you understand that you are in a situation that you don't want to be, even if you know what to do to change the situation or to move yourself out of the situation, the comfort of the discomfort can be so much more familiar than the discomfort that you will face once you start doing something. And energy is something that inspires us, or not motivates, pushes us to do something, to start acting. And we're like, no, not now, not now. Yeah, so it's interesting that these two elements, they are not overlapping, but they are connected. And these are two elements that want it in a way, like that I felt the urge to color the first. And for me, it's like, okay, even though we're not like friendly, but we're still together. We understand our differences, but we are willing to work together for the greater good, which is realization of the desire. And I don't feel that there's something wrong with that. And that's actually an interesting idea, not an idea, but an interesting understanding that they're still here to serve me, and maybe not being that connected is something that makes this connection or realization of the topic even stronger. But again, I'm curious to work through all these elements separately. So now I want to go to desire, and the desire is yellow, but yellow of a not that bright. So what I'm doing is, yes, I see that my mind overlaps desire. And I can see that when I add color into my desire, this connection is even more vivid. And I also see that my desire is connected to my soul. So what am I feeling now that I have three elements with a huge boost of energy? So I see that that's actually interesting that when my mind is connected with the desire, the color changes and it's more, it's kind of closer to the shade of the soul. It's actually interesting. It's actually interesting that, and it's interesting because I understand it in my body, but somehow it's challenging for me to express what is that I feel. But it's like a big aha moment here. I'm like, okay. Now the body, and the body is pinkish. And again, I see that some parts overlapping other elements, my mind and my soul. Oof. When I'm coloring my soul, I don't like it. Oh my God, no, I don't like it. My body is reacting super strongly now, and I feel like I am there's lots of tension in me right now. And I'm like, oh wow, why? Even though it's like, yeah, for me now, I also once again understand that it was not the mind that was giving me challenges. Most likely it was the body. Well, I definitely did not expect that reaction. Yeah, so what I'm feeling, what I'm sensing, I'm catching my breath. And there's this gloominess, and I'm like, oh wow, okay. And what image do I see now? Maybe the images will tell me something. Maybe the image. It's still about the party, but it's like I'm standing in one room and the party is in another room. And it's either, but I know that the party is there, it's just that I'm choosing to leave the party. Interesting. Okay. And the observer is going to be purple. So let's see what the observer is going to tell me. And already now I don't like how it colors. Okay, goodness. It was so easy peasy. And now there is some strong reaction in my body. So it's, yeah, interesting. Okay, so observer, and now let's see where observer overlaps or unites with other elements. So with desire, it's a yes. Now with the body, okay, well, yeah. Well, clearly the body is not very cooperative now. My soul. Something with this highlighter that I don't really like. This is weird. But okay, this is exactly what should be happening to give me this strong reaction for me to see. because if I don't like what is happening, it's not about that I'm doing something wrong or the tools are bad. It just shows me that this topic is not harmonized in me enough. And this is what we are doing with Neurographica, with rounding all intersections, with working through tension on every level. We are eliminating this tension. But what's also interesting that now that I look at my drawing, I see this vibrant flower, and I actually like it. And I see the petals overlapping, so I don't see it as something negative anymore. Well, that's actually interesting, because as if I see how beautiful they are, and if I want to see observer, I can just move a little bit this petal, and then I will see it, or I can move this one. Oh, that's actually interesting because it makes more uh, dynamic in a way that I can do something about it, and that's beautiful. They're not static. It's not set. I can actually do something about it. So I'm not looking at it as something that is merged. I realize that it's more like this. Let me show you. So I can move them, start moving them, the petals in different directions to find the exact combo that needs to be there for my desire to be realized, to be manifested. And that's an interesting thought. So our next step is we are going to invite greater energy. We are going to invite divine support. If you believe in the universe, if you believe in divine, any word that you use for it, this is what field lines are. So this is something greater, and think of it as rivers that nurture valleys. And we're using a thick liner for that. And I'm going to add line number 1. So these are the thickest lines on your drawing. And like make them like really, really thick for you to see them right away. And pay attention. How do you feel now that you see divine support? That you're no longer alone here. You are actually supported by the divine. And again, we are rounding all intersections. We are rounding all intersections because every intersection is a conflict, is some tension, and we don't want to create that. Rounding. And here you can have, again, lots of resistance. Like, oh my God, I'm ruining my drawing. It looks ugly. Or can I not use the field lines? Just observe and allow this tension or resistance to be present. Like, okay, well, I see you. But still, let's invite the field to boost our topic. And has your image changed now that you have divine support? I drew one line. I feel I would like to draw another line, so I'm adding line number 2. Making it visible. And here as well, I am going to round all intersections. Well, my tension is gone completely. The one that was present at some point when I was adding color. Super happy about that. And the word that comes up when I think about my topic is inspiration. And I'm back to the party. Feel like I just needed some water or something. So it wasn't that I was leaving the party, it was just a beautiful recharge. And next step is what you can look at your elements right now, whether they are united as mine or integrated with one another, or if they're in separate places, that's okay too. Again, diagnostics is about seeing what is that we're working with. And pick any element that you believe, you feel like, not like what you think, but you feel is the element that will energy in which, or will focus your focus in which will boost your topic. And right away I think it's my body. So again, I am using a thick marker to highlight this element. And for me, this is the solution of my topic. And I don't need to know what exactly I need to do, because just the fact that there is a solution and it is linked to my body is already working its magic. But again, working its magic not in a fluffy way, but in a way that your subconscious mind already knows how. And maybe later on my body will give me clues of what it needs, or how it can be inspired to act. Because for me, what is inspiration? The word that came up. Inspiration is not actually, it's not just a feeling. For me, inspiration is something that boosts my activity. So when I have inspiration, I do something I cannot not do. And so I wonder right now, what can be this inspired action right now that will boost my topic. Because again, inspired action is something that our bodies do, because it's an action. And of course, I'm also very curious to work on these elements separately to see what is there. And now that we've finished with divine lines and with fixing with color, you can look at your drawing and ask yourself, is there anything else you can do to make your drawing prettier? Maybe it's adding a few more lines. Maybe it's working on the color. Maybe it's working on a rounding. I'm adding a few lines here and there. And right away, I feel heat in my body. It's like super, super hot right now. Yeah, super hot. So I feel that the energy is moving and my body is reacting because again, and interesting because again, I picked body and my body is telling like, yeah, I am moving. Something is changing. And yeah, we are almost there. And please take your time and pause now if you're still working on color, if you're still working on field lines, or if you're still working on a fix on any part of the drawing. Because again, the quality of your drawing depends on the quantity of your lines. So add as many as you feel like until you have this internal feeling that this is enough. I feel that I've done enough, and I truly can say that I wouldn't want to add anything else here. And our final step of the algorithm is actually going back to where we began. And we're going to write down 20 words for 2 minutes once again. And I feel like changing the color of my marker. And the topic is the same that we began with. So for me, it was YouTube. So for me, it was YouTube. Well, yeah, back then it was blue color. Now it's more like turquoise. And this is more of a color of inspiration for me. Okay, so I'm going to set a timer for 2 minutes. And once again, let's see what changed in our subconscious mind. 1, 2, 3, let's begin. And time is up. Now you can count how many words you have. I have 33. Well, I can say that my words are completely different right now. Yet somehow I'm still catching my breath. So, okay. And what colors can unite and what words can be united for me? Inspire, believe, trust, process, trust the process. Okay. For me, it's like have the belief, follow your inspiration and trust the process. and be passionate about what you're doing. Well, which I am, but that's what I love about that. Okay, now bright pink care system steps and inspiration with foundation. Yeah, for me, it's like when you care about the system of what you're doing, it creates this beautiful foundation. And from this foundation, you can move with inspiration, take actionable steps. Like, oh, wow, interesting. But again, you don't have to analyze any of this. For me, it's just, I guess I'm used to connecting the dots and connecting the words that I hear. And once again, let's close our eyes and see what is that we see. And for me, I see the photos from this party that I had. And so I already know it's a great party, and I already know what happened there and what steps needed to be taken to get there. And yes, now I understand that that was my party. I was hosting it. And that's a beautiful realization. So now that if metaphor is YouTube, so I know how it made it happen, and I can tune into this feeling and make it happen here as well. How am I feeling now? I feel as if this word comes, I've arrived. So I am no longer on a journey. I can rest now. And rest doesn't mean that I'm not going to do anything. Actually, it means that I know what I'm going to do. But it's not from I need to do it, but it's actually because I want to do it. And right away, I feel how my body relaxes. I breathe deeply now, and it's beautiful. Yeah. So again, take your time to work on this algorithm, the diagnostics, as much time as you need to work through every step. And I want to thank you for taking this time with me today and helping on this beautiful journey. And as you can see that even though that was just a small glimpse into the larger NeuroButterfly program journey, I do trust that you already uncovered something meaningful when you look at your drawing. And if you feel that you would like to explore each element separately, then I'm lovingly inviting you to the full program. And again, we'll go there much, much deeper. Each element is explored in its own world for us to truly understand what might be hiding behind each layer. And if you already know that, yes, this is something you'd like to explore, then please join the full recorded program. Again, you may go with your own timing, depending on how much time you have, how many days you can go through. There are six classes together with the diagnostics, and you'll receive a welcome message from me, a welcome video with guidance on how to approach your topic. Simple but very powerful coaching techniques to deepen your insights, because again, here we were just scratching the surface, and also a clear explanation of what to expect across the journey. If you feel that you would like to test Neurographica a little bit more and to explore some other techniques before committing to a full program, there are also smaller recorded classes, and in the description of this class, you may find a few links. One of them is in NeuroTree, one of my favorite algorithms. Or if you are drawn to sacred symbols, then you can explore Flower of Life, which is also one of my favorites. And there we combine Neurographica with the power of sacred geometry. Whichever path you take, I'm really, really glad that we met here, and I do hope that that was helpful and insightful. And I also truly hope that this was just the beginning for you.